Hello everyone, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. So welcome to my review of One Piece chapter 1010 and 10 chapters after the initial Yonko versus the Supernova fight began. Oda decides to split up not only the Yonko, but also he just decides to split off the worst generation. Whether or not Oda's actually going to go through with this and make it 1v1, we'll have to wait and see. But we start off with Pudding on the cover page back in Whole Cake Island with trying to use water droplets to make her eyes. I'm assuming awaken for her three eyes because obviously she's a member of the Three Eye Tribe, the only member of the Three Eye Tribe we've seen. Every time we see one of these cover fan requests, even though it is a request, I can't help but wonder at what these characters are actually doing. Like with Reiju on Whole Cake Island, we don't know what happened to her and the rest of the Vinsmokes. Same thing with Pudding, because I said this before, especially because of the anime episode that we got at the end of Whole Cake Island. Definitely setting up a Pudding return at some point, especially since her ability is so huge. Like she's awakened, she can read the raw poneglyph, which becomes hugely viable to a lot of people. I've already speculated that possibly Blackbeard could show up because he's the only Yonko that would do something like this. While Big Mom is gone, because she has a raw poneglyph, take that or take the copy of the poneglyph like Brooke did, and then take Pudding as well because he would have that type of intel on Big Mom in hopes of awakening her eyes, and that way we can get Pudding and maybe Sanji could have a reunion with her at some point. I've already speculated that could be something that happens because I definitely don't think she's done in the story. Kind of makes you wonder if we'll get any indication of what that eye symbol means, if it's related to the Three Eye Tribe as well. I'm hoping we'll get that during the Black Maria versus Nico Robin fight. We should. But speaking of Big Mom, she gets kicked off of Onigashima. Now, we all thought she was going to be saved, but primarily it is because of Kaido indirectly trying to attack Zoro. So she's like, save me, Zeus. Zeus is in the container, so he can't do anything. And I find it interesting that as the supernova splitting off, Prometheus and Zeus are once again split off. We also find out that Napoleon's back with Big Mom. Zoro dealing with Prometheus, sliced up with his flame slice. Zeus can't escape from the container, and then Law proceeds to be the hype man for Zoro because he's like, I'm pretty sure every bone in Zoro's body must be broken, which, considering what we've seen of him thus far in this fight and what he's capable of enduring, that's not saying too much because Kaido says, "Oh, Linlin, you're pathetic." So he's putting down another Yonko. I don't know if he actually feels that way because the next thing he does is tries to help out Prometheus by trying to attack Zoro. Hybrid Kaido comes in to attack Zoro. Law comes in with Shambles, switches himself to Zoro, and then uses injection shot on Kaido, which was pretty cool. But it doesn't really affect him for long, even though you see him cough blood. Again, Law with the abilities to attack people with internal damage, much like Luffy, and possibly Zoro as well, especially after this chapter. It doesn't affect him for long because he throws him completely off, but this allows Prometheus to get away and rescue Big Mom. And if you notice, Napoleon's also on Prometheus. And Zoro's like, hey, you're going to let that flame get away to Big Mom. And Law's like, this planet ain't worth dying. And Kid actually brings up something interesting because he's like, we only needed to split them up anyway. So now she's off. Kid is like, oh, leave Big Mom to us, which is interesting because the parallels in this chapter are crazy. Not only with, like, every time we get a Zoro hype building chapter, especially with last week, and this chapter, Oda has to come back with a chapter that makes Luffy equally, if not more, stronger. He needed to because what Zoro did in the last chapter, primarily speaking, was impressive as hell. Like, that's a feat nobody's touched before. And then in this chapter, Zoro pulls off another huge feat. But here, like, and then Oda has to raise the stakes because Luffy hasn't done anything since chapter 1000, in my opinion, which is interesting because 10 chapters later, Luffy has found a way to gain the upper hand, at least for the time being. So we kind of see the range of where Big Mom fell, and she's near the ocean, but she's on top of Prometheus, which is interesting because she couldn't save herself. So had that not have happened, if Kaido hadn't attacked Zoro when he did, or at least attempted to, then Big Mom would have felt pretty much die, pretty much. But we knew she wasn't, so she's back. And then Prometheus is like what was that useless oath Zeus doing? Which is interesting because that's still primarily Big Mom's soul, but whatever. Prometheus is like, Zeus is primarily holding us back. And he comes up with an idea, but we don't get to hear what that is. Obviously, it has to be something important, or else they wouldn't have cut away from it. But then the next thing you see is like, you see the nimbus clouds forming. So first I thought, is that something related to Big Mom? Is she trying to create a Zeus again? Or she's creating something entirely new? It could also be kind of a Luffy related, especially since Haki was the theme of this chapter. Look at the straw hat and his face. It's exactly how he looked the last time he was KO'd. Only he wasn't KO'd for long. So it's just like last time he's unconscious. First I thought, is he going to use Conqueors Haki again? But no, because Zoro and Law are there, they're not going to let that happen. Because and then Zoro and Law rise from the dead, and it's like, Zoro's like, this will be my last attack. We can't, and Law's like, we can't keep this up forever. And Zoro's like, given the epic speech, if this doesn't work, and I end up dead, it'll be up to you. I'm guessing he's referring to Law, because I think going all out with this, even in this condition, Zoro Haki's up with Emna. And finally, after the time, after all these years since the time skip, since arcs of waiting, since it's like Zoro pulls up Nine Sword style, demonic Asura, which is by far the best moment in the entire chapter. Luffy gets an epic moment, but just seeing Asura again in post time skip for Zoro was epic, and it actually leaves an impression on Kaido. It phases right through Kaido, and it's interesting. Kaido doesn't give a stuff. Look, he's like, boom, it's done. So, and then Law's shocked, and then Kaido's even more surprised because, according to Kaido, Zoro has left a new scar on Kaido's chest, and if you look where it's holding it, it looks like his heart. So Kaido's like, oh, that run, it can't be. You have Conqueors Haki too. Kind of teasing the waters if Zoro has Conqueors Haki or not. I think it's possible, but we still haven't had confirmation yet because Zoro is being casual by this because obviously the attack didn't work. I was hoping at least it'd be enough to knock you down, but it didn't even do that. So, attack that took down Kaku. I mean, for most parts, it didn't really affect Kaido. It just leave the scar. It'll leave the scar, so that should be enough for you. But then he's like, oh, this generation's such a pain. Zoro's about to be attacked because Kaido's like, Lord, don't bother trying to help, because he's like, Thunder Baku. He uses it against Law. So Law takes some hefty damage as well, and this attack also hits Zoro as well. So if you can take that into consideration, if Zoro is still awake, that's impressive as hell. Kaido's like, oh, what a pity. If you had joined me, we could have taken the world together. And this is where we get the Luffy hype building moment of the chapter, where the hype for Luffy grows and grows and grows until the end of this chapter. Why would any of us want to team up with an idiot like you? The samurai are our friends. I'm definitely going to send you flying. So that attack definitely, the previous attack that Kaido landed on Luffy did some damage, but for the most part, Luffy seems to be fine. Thinking about what Hyogoro taught him about the training, about Rio, coat yourself in Haki should allow you to devastate your opponent from the inside, which we know he was referring to Rio, but here it's like Hyogoro also points out that it's in the midst of danger that power truly blossoms, which is something that Rayleigh said to Luffy. When Luffy was taking on Katakuri, it's like Haki blooms in the heat of battle. Advanced version of Conqueors Haki, because this is next level Conqueors Haki. So just like with advanced observation Haki that Luffy found a way to use, and now he has some type of advanced armored Haki. Now he's got the Trinity with advanced Conqueors Haki, because he's like, oh, Conqueors Haki, you can use it to coat yourself, right, as a weapon. I'm pretty sure. And it's like, and Kaido's like, oh, it could only be done by a handful of powerful individuals. This time, Luffy jumps up, he blocks the mace with his foot, which is impressive, considering he's not even touching it. So that's the first instant, and then you also see the black sparks. So it's like, oh boy. So, and it becomes even more apparent the second time he uses it, because it's like he kicks back and then he attacks again, and Kaido's face is like, what the is he doing? So Luffy comes in with a punch. he Haki's up, but if you notice, you see the sparks, which is something we find out he's not actually touching Kaido when he punches him in the stomach. He's actually using Conqueors Haki. Obviously, it's the same thing that Roger and Whitebeard did when they clashed during the flashback, Odin flashback, because you saw the sparks as well, and they weren't touching each other. And Oda pointed that out, just as Law pointed that out in this chapter. It's like they're not even touching each other. The Haki, but you've seen Luffy use it as an offensive weapon and a defensive, because he blocked the mace and then he attacked Kaido, and then Kaido he punches Kaido again in the jaw, and then just sends him to the floor like a boss, like. And Law points out he's not even making contact. And then we get the hype for Luffy to end the chapter. It's like, Zoro, Traff, thanks for covering me. You guys head back down. Leave the rest to me. I'll beat him no matter what. Which is something, again, it goes back to what we thought with Kid, not just Zoro, but we also got with Kid. Like, he's like adamant about taking down Big Mom. He's the one going after her. I don't see that happening, but the fact that Kid and Luffy did the same thing in the same chapter, I don't find that as a coincidence at all. It's like, I'll beat him no matter what. Tell everybody I've got this. I can definitely see Zoro going back down, because unless there's a final attack and he has an involvement, Zoro's already left an impression on Kaido with a new scar. So regardless of what you think, here's the thing: I don't know if Luffy's actually going to take him by himself, if this is going to be a 1v1 mono and mono. If that's the case, then we're gonna get a Gear 5th Awakening, because there's no way without it Luffy's gonna stand a chance. Even with this advanced Conquerors Haki, like, one, Kaido's in his hybrid form, so he should be more durable. Two, how much is this gonna drain Luffy, because he hasn't mastered this yet, or has he mastered this? We don't know. So that's my assumption. Is Oda going to go through with this or making it 1v1? Because we've heard for years that Oda had a problem with finding a way to wrap up the 1v1 between Luffy and Kaido. So if he found a way, this could end up being Kaido versus Luffy. Sooner or later, this is going to have to happen. But I'm wondering, okay, is this really going to be enough, though, against Kaido? To the point where Luffy can confidently say to the others, head back down, I've got this. And there is a possibility we could see the Supernova again team up. That would be kind of epic with inclusion of Hawkins, Apu, and X-Drake. Because they're the only Supernova that are missing right now against Kaido. And if Kaido finds out if his wig weakened, I could definitely see that being a way. Because it was prophesied by Toki, 9 shadows will appear. We know the Scabbards aren't doing anything against Kaido. They're doing their own thing. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. But also the note that we got from the message that we got from Odin in chapter 1000 is like, a group of pirates would gather to take Kaido down. So I definitely don't see this being a 1v1, especially with Prometheus having an idea for Big Mom that could throw a monkey wrench in this. Because, but yeah, this chapter was great. It was epic. It hyped Zoro and Luffy up. To a certain extent, Law as well. But it's like, at this point, they can't really do much against Kaido, especially Zoro. It's like, Zoro's done his job. Zoro needs to head back down. This could be a way for him to get out of the picture for now. If Zoro has another involvement, it'll be the last attack. But Zoro doesn't need to do anything else against Kaido. He's already done his job. And just how the Scabbards, we thought they were on death's door, but Luffy showed up and they turned out to be fine. And now they're doing their own job. They're doing the right thing. We got Inuyarashi versus Jack. We got Raizo versus Fukurakuju. So yeah, the Scabbards are doing their own thing. So I can definitely see Zoro going back down, and maybe this is where we get the 1v1. But boy, is Zoro going to be drained up the ass. But this is kind of something what we've been wanting anyway. Is Zoro to be pushed? Who would have thought though that the way he got pushed was because of what he endured against Kaido and Big Mom. So that's crazy. But yeah, let me know you guys think down below. Like, Luffy against Kaido, apparently 1v1, and we're on break next week, so I have 2 weeks to wait to find out whether or not this is actually going to be mano a mano, Kaido versus Luffy after all this. So after the last time this happened, what happened to Luffy? But we're past the point of one-shotting people now, so this is going to be on an epic scale. So this fight in general like from chapter 1000 onwards, even the chapters from 1000 onwards has been epic as hell. They're going to be tailor made for the anime. They're going to go above and beyond. Oh man, especially with the haki used in this chapter. So yeah, I can't wait to see more of this and what this means for Luffy if he's actually mastered conquer the advanced Conquerors Haki, because that would be the Trinity now. Because we had it with Armament Haki with Rio, we had it with Future Sight Observation Haki to a certain extent. I don't know if he's as profound with it as a Katakuri was, but now we advance Conquerors Haki, so that's epic as hell. I'm wondering if we're going to get the reveal of if Zoro has it, because again, if he ends up going against King after this, this could be a way of nerfing him, because as strong as King might be, I don't see this being a fair fight if Zoro was at full. So let me know what you guys think down below. But this brings up so many interesting scenarios, especially with Big Mom being chased after by a kid, how that's going to end up, what her role's going to be, what's going to happen with this Zeus, because it looks like Prometheus and Zeus for the most part are like parting ways, because it's like, oh, that Zeus is useless, and we know Zeus at some point is going to reunite with Nami, so this could be a way out. This could be a way for Oda to do that. Maybe we'll wait patiently and find out, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Let me know what you guys think down below. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like the review if you did, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate that. Subscribe, channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. That's guys. Bye.